Thank you for inviting me to this assembly. I am Kristen G. Medina, a grade 12 YUM student from the University of the Assumption, and I have a confession to make. During my elementary days, as our teachers discussed and warned us about global warming and climate change, I always thought that being aware of this is already enough. So I would just memorize all the do's and don'ts about our environment that we were tasked to study, only to try and get all the correct answers to our science tests. And although I was able to get good grades because of this, I still crumpled papers whenever I wrote or drew something wrong on them. I usually throw my garbage properly, but I do not do that whenever there are no trash cans nearby. And whenever I see filthy things scattered in our hallways, I would just tell myself that as long as they are not mine, I could pretend that I did not see them, since I know that that is what most people, such as my peers, would also do. These are just some of the actions that I used to do, which I now regret, because as I grew up, I witnessed more and more news reports appear on our television that proves that the pollution around us is worsening. And this causes big and bad changes to the world we live in, which makes lots of us and our fellow human beings suffer. Even though global warming and climate change are things that we cannot fully control, many actions that we citizens do in life are sadly making a strong impact not just on our barangay or country, but on our whole planet. One of this is the mismanagement of our garbage, especially now that there is a pandemic and the garbage truck and collectors are no longer being able to collect our trash weekly. Perhaps even before that, it seems that there has been no single day that passes by without us seeing our environment clean. I myself has been experiencing asthmatic and allergic reactions, as I can always smell our reeking canals on the street filled with debris, and also dark smoke forming from garbages being burnt. Moreover, consciously or not, each one of us has been hurting Mother Nature as we continue to try and get resources from her that we need to use in our daily lives. And sometimes even more than that. And we end up wasting them instead of saving some for the following day or for the next generation. And as this waste find their ways to the trash can or even the corners of our subdivisions, some would eventually end up clogging our canals, but often they would end up as ashes flying to the skies, making the air we breathe dirtier. In fact, these and factories that manufacture the products that we order, as well as our neighbors' cars that we wish we also have, are actually some of the things that have been producing too much greenhouse gases that continue to destroy the same ozone layer that shields us from the sun's heat. Who knows what other things that have been casually become a part of our daily routines actually contribute to global warming and climate change. That's why now, my fellow kabarangays here in San Joaquin, Santa Ana, Pampanga, as we go outside of our houses and see the surroundings after a long time of being stuck at our home because of the COVID-19 quarantine, we now wonder, has our environment been able to heal as humankind was not able to touch it for a while? Well, whether it did or did not, staying away of our surroundings is not the answer to see and let nature heal. Instead, as long as we are allowed to do so, we should go outside and be one with nature. especially because we should be there to be the ones to protect and take care of it before it's all too late. And as it has become more difficult to be able to forecast when the dry and wet seasons will come as time goes by, what we should focus on doing the most right now is to remember the popular Filipino saying, kung anong itinapon mo, babalik sa'yo. For us to still have water, especially now that the days are usually very warm, we should keep our waterways clean and not clogged with debris. As a start, let us stop throwing trash everywhere just because everyone is doing it, and tell others to follow this example. Let us also make small steps to start a recycling campaign, like through encouraging each other to think first if we really need something before buying it, or if we could still make use of the things that we are planning to throw out. Examples of this are washable face masks and reusable face shields. Although it has already been announced that we are now allowed to not wear them, let's keep some of them as they still can help us to not spread viruses. We could also encourage our local officials to fund per barangay or per purok central trash cans composed of 3 huge bins where a group of people can easily segregate their waste, especially when the garbage collectors don't arrive for the week. Nevertheless, in your own little ways, even within the comforts of your homes, you can also make a change. What is important is that we start now. That is all. Thank you, Barangay San Joaquin.